Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Monday Novice Fight with me, your host, Imperial Dane. We'll be having a 2 versus 2 right here. Yes, indeed. Twice the novices, twice the novicing. We shall be watching in the southern corner PTE Potis man and DrPain fighting for Deutschland. Fighting for the 11th Panzer Division, going up against Lacarus and Gramont, fighting for the Soviet Union. And the 20th Tank Corps Combat. Apparently already here we're seeing a bit of indecision from Lacarus. Oh, should I hit right? Should I hit left? I do not know. Please, Comrade Stalin, provide guidance. And we are noting here right away that Gramont is actually standing out with the 2nd Combat Engineer Squad. This is definitely a bit unusual, but immediately sending up their Special Arrive Command, having the other unit lead the way. Usually, I mean, in this case, you'd actually just have the Special Arrive Command being put down with the 1st Combat Squad, then get some conscripts up to take the rest of the territory, and afterwards, yes, you'd be a bit delayed, but on the other hand, you'd have some more infantry out a bit faster, and again, you know, combat engineers and conscripts do cost the same as there is that to remember. In the meanwhile, we're seeing an infantry company up here, Grenadiers, MD42 on the way, and the same here for DrPain, with an MD42 following up here. And a dual pioneer starts from DrPain, thus opting to grab as much territory right away as possible. 2nd MD40 out here from Potis. I'm not entirely sure that is recommendable, in particular the way he's spreading out so far, it seems. Soviets are leading the way. Control system a bit unsure what to do.
It is ours.
And we're noting here a 2nd Special Rifle Command, so both Soviet players will be starting out with 2 combat engineers. That's a bit dangerous. They will be rather short on infantry, which is not really what you want to be as the Soviets, in particular when both of them are going for special rifle commands. And now we're seeing a sniper out here. He's barely got any infantry. He's got some comments. Now he's getting a sniper. That is some pretty dangerous stuff there going on from the Soviets. Definitely not recommended, in particular when he's standing out here within the first few minutes of the game, setting up a fuel cache. A fuel cache, really, and we're seeing the same thing going on here from DrPain, a munitions cache. I mean, there's nothing wrong getting up a cache, but even then, within the first 2 minutes, that's too early, I think. But again, I mean, in a 1 versus 1, maybe not. I mean, that could give some interesting benefits, but in a 2 versus 2, I'm not sure. Hard to recommend. Well, there we go. Conscripts need to get out there. They're caught between 2 MG42s. Troops engaging here. Pioneers versus combat engineers. Or these not caches when you barely get any infantry. But we are seeing a scout car running there for Lacarus. Snipers sniping away here on some of the Grenadiers. Troops are moving up here. MG42 providing coverage. Pretty aggressive move here. Pioneers bypassed. MD42 pulling back. Scout car rushing ahead. Lacarus actually moving up some infantry. Scout car here seems a bit unsure what to do. Looks like, oh, it catches the MG out in the open. Not sure why Potis was bringing him out his MD42 like that when he knew there were troops around. You know, he knew there were communists down here. And they could easily have combat private set with a scout car. Bit of a dangerous situation here. MD42 needs to retreat. Don't try to fight the scout car with an MD42 team. Come on, Potis. And right here, of course, we're seeing his other troops getting flanked, but troops are getting caught in the MD5. This is really chaotic. Sniper combat is doing nothing while we see here that DrPain advances. And what is going on? He's just taking the point, doing nothing. MD42 needs to pull back.
They're coming from behind. Enemy troops attacking.
Flanks are falling, and note here that DrPain left absolutely nothing to cover this point, also known as, well, assault support. For DrPain, doctrine is Jaeger infantry. Lacarus has got motor, got rifle, shock rifle, and got motor, so it combined arms, and so it shock rifle. Anyways, back here, but again, I mean, he's advanced pretty greatly towards, he's plunked down resource caches there, but he's done nothing to protect the cut-off point there. I mean, there seems to be a bit of a disconnect. And that is hardly alright. I mean, you won't be putting that much effort into this if you're not doing anything remotely to guard this point. Instead, we're seeing barbed wire, and now S-Mine's going down. And again, a bit all for naught when he's, you know, he can't even protect this. And of course, could easily get flanked from here. Now again, oh, finally getting some bloody infantry, Gramont. Some penal troops, alright, but really, that late into the game. He's actually getting some combat troops while the rest of his force is doing very little. Not even mining this area, opening up for troops to move up.
Einsatzbereit.
But 3 Grenadier squads, 2 MGs for Potis man are already taken up here, but rather heavy tier 1.
Resistance! Taking fire!
And he's getting sorted here with the scout car. Looks like some flamethrowers in it. Panzerfaust going off. Doing a nice bit of damage there, but the Grenadiers might need to retreat. Grenadiers getting sniped here. Victory point getting cut off. Pioneer standing out doing nothing.
That is a sturdy bunker.
Nothing hardly surprising. Bunker up there, and note here, I mean, that he's not even placing it right here between the 2 bases, you know, where he could have it up as a medic station. That's not really good either. One does feel that the teamwork here between the 2 sides already is showing some cracks. Popping over to DrPain with barely any force in comparison. Troops being engaged by the penal troops are rushing up with flamethrowers and SVT-40s. Troops are counterattacking here. Pioneers cross-shotting straight into a flamethrower. Not really much luck here. DrPain's right flank is already falling apart like a poorly stacked house of cards. These troops are just getting wiped out by the penal troops. Come on, DrPain, you silly sod.
We are losing the sector.
It looks like Heinz there got extremely lucky, managed to escape. That was definitely a bit too bloody close here to MG42's coming in the center, but not much else. And there we go, flanking the MG42 with a flamethrower. Good lord, and another fuel cache up. Clearly, the Russians are figuring out something involving some heavy armor focus, but at the same time, good lord, it rather feels like they're only getting away with this due to the fact that DrPain is playing rather awkwardly. Otherwise, if DrPain were to put any kind of actual effort into this instead of playing defensively, he could easily have pushed off them from the entire right-hand side, and they believe they could do simply due to the fact that Soviet players plonking down so many fuel caches, got barely any infantry at all. And somehow, DrPain actually managed to win over the flamethrower with an MG42 despite the flamethrower being in a house. Good lord. I mean, this is really some heavy novice fighting going on here. Poor tactics all around. And again, I mean, the medic bunker could easily have stood there between the 2 headquarters, healed both players' troops. MG42 there, getting outmaneuvered, getting sniped. 2 snipers pushing up, nothing's really stopped them. Gunners pushing up there alone. Against the scout car and the flamethrower engineers. Oh, come on. It looks like DrPain's finally able to gain back that point, but that's about it, really. And the MG42 needs to pull back, right? Or at least, you know, take the point there. You need to get the resources connected again. Come on, man. Light mechanized company up, resources being floated. And there we go. The result of a bit of an armor rush there. Expecting, you know, a lot of resources on caches. Still, Tango Battalion command is up. Snipers continue to snipe away here. Grenadiers need to retreat. Rückzug. Get the hell out of there, Heinz.
I guess we had a Hellschmerzen.
And now the Pioneers here, Veterans 1, are getting attacked here by the penal troops. The penal troops moving in with a vengeance. And there you go, Pioneers in a bit of trouble, taking a few losses. So snipers here close to getting wiped out, but looks like they do manage to escape the wrath of the Grenadiers. Generally in any war, if a sniper was caught by the enemy, generally nothing good awaited them, because soldiers never liked snipers. Same thing applied to flamethrower operators. If you're caught having a flamethrower handler, you generally not expect much mercy. S-Mine's going up there, certainly doing a nice job there. The spraying meaning jumping up and exploding right about body height with lots of fragments. Very unpleasant here. Several nasty losses to the penal troops. Fuel cache here being repaired. Troops hanging about. Pack 40 moving up. Point being secured. And note there, that looks like both players seeing our medic station again. Why would they both? Just makes little sense. T-34 arriving here for Gramont by 9 minutes and 30 seconds. And also Tanky Battalion up here for Lacarus. The T-34-76 moving out here. This, by the way, being a later variant. There was an earlier one which actually probably had a bit thinner armor and some rather serious design flaws. This one was a slightly improved version with a better turret where there could actually be more men in it and that can actually see better. Sending off all the S-mines, and again, I mean, nothing here. The MD-42 haven't even been retreated, and he's setting up a bunker right there. Come on, retreat. Panzerfaust there on the rear of the T-34. Plenty of munitions though going into the coffers. Bit of an awfully spread out approach here, and a fuel cache up for Lacarus as well. We've seen 3 fuel caches up from the Russian players. That's awfully much.
We have a forward structure under attack.
And the bunker here, of course, just going to get blown up. Comrades heading up from the mines. Less good. T-34 arriving for Lacarus. Snipers have been engaging the Grenadiers. The Grenadiers need to retreat. Flamethrower engineers in the scout car, the M3A1. One of many Lend-Lease vehicles supplied by the Americans. They got a lot of trucks from them. They also got plenty of half-tracks of medium and light variants. Of course, the scout cars, tanks, aircraft, trains. In fact, they received a lot of trains from the Americans as well.
Enemy is attacking one of our forward buildings.
Awaiting orders!
Ready for anything!
Pack moving up here, opening up the T-34. Lovely.
Pioneers awaiting orders.
Still barely any forces, plenty of resources being floated, though it looks like he's got a support armor co-op. At least he could make use of it, I suppose. Veterans you do for the scout car, lovely there. Rather defensive application of things here. Not really doing much to hold the front line, actually. The scout car really shouldn't just pull back when faced with a T-34. Snipers and other infantry following up here. Panzerfaust setting off the engine on the T-34, lovely. Bit of heavy engine damage there. And once more the penal troops push ahead, the gunners can't do much to stop them. Pack 40 exposed. Pioneers moving up, not with flamethrowers or anything. Barely any upgrades for the infantry despite having sufficient munitions for that. Come on, DrPain, do something. Popping over here to Lacarus, who's now gone for shock rifle. Gunners are getting cooked alive. Assault going up here, pack 40 moving ahead. Scout car not there to support. I mean, you don't send in a pack alone like that into nothing. And obviously, as you can see, the assault as it quickly gets cleared out. That was just a waste. And now, of course, we see here that Potis is much too late, then reacts with the scout car because he's already taking damage and he's quickly going to get knocked out.
Yes.
I mean, hardly solid play there. So hardly good tactics. And Grenadiers actually engaging across open ground, making themselves an easy target here for the T-34. Panzerfaust cat, another fuel cache going up, you know, not that many fuel caches. We've already seen 4 fuel caches up for the Russians. The Soviets, that is 800 manpower. 800 manpower, which could have also been expended on combat troops, actually pushed the front line up a bit. I mean, they're hardly expending the resources they've got right now anyways. At least they stole the pack, which is something T-34 getting out of there. Combat units will need to get up, then repair it, quickly stop it up and repair. Constable continues to advance straight into the front of an MD-42. Veterans E2, there we go. Pretty quickly suppressed. T-34 advances. This is left rather to its own. Bunker not upgraded or anything. T-34 they're getting repaired. Still lots of resources being floated. Come on. How about building some more tanks, Lacarus?
Shock troops have arrived.
Nope, we're seeing shock troops called in. Scout car makes another push here. Going straight for the Grenadiers up front.
Goddamn flamethrower!
And a Panzer camp fighting here for Potis. Nothing. In fact, we see a T-34 flanking him out again. I mean, DrPain just keeps leaving this exposed while focusing on this rather too much to a slightly disturbing degree. In fact, we see his packs getting flanked as well. Nicely done there, by the way, by Gramont. A nice bit of thinking there. But also really highlights that it seems here that DrPain is suffering from a severe case of tunnel vision. I mean, he's pretty much neglecting the rest of the map just to focus on this very, very narrow strip of land. He's neglecting flanks and everything else. I mean, that is absolutely not healthy. In fact, it is downright terrible. And he's building so many bunkers and everything else, so the MD-42 there wasn't even recruited. I mean, I can't help but feel that, you know, DrPain seems to be operating on his own little plan in his head, disregarding what's actually going on the battlefield. Panzer Grenadier moving up with their Panzer strikes. Panzer 4 moving up here, opening up with the shock troops, catching them in the open. Scout car needs to be careful as well. And there we go, Scout car went down. Not sure why I didn't pull it back. You usually put it into overdrive mode and got it out of pretty quickly. That's a bit awkward. T-34 there almost done, repaired. Several T-34s now for Gramont. Panzer strikes opening up there, flying away. Gewehr 43's up here with DrPain so far. The only sign we've seen that he's actually been neutralising his Jaeger infantry doctrine. Panzer Grenadiers moving in, taking a few losses there from the T-34. 76 is 76mm gun. The 76 in fact standing for the gun. There was also the T-40-45 which had an 85mm gun. And there was the T-34-57 which had a 57mm gun. It was actually a higher velocity gun, more specifically meant for tank destruction, but there were never really that many of them. Nice use there of the satchel charge. Veteran 2 Panzers need to retreat again. DrPain needs to work on a lot of things, not just unit persuasion. Strafing run going in here. Assault support, obviously the choice here for Potis. And the Luftwaffe immediately provides support. It's now forced to retreat. Gets killed on retreat, in fact. Veterans 3 Grenadiers. So far, it would seem that Potis has a bit of a better idea what's going on and what to do, though he's still committing several mistakes. And we're noting more fuel caches up from the Germans as well. Oh, good lord.
They've opened up on us!
Panzer fasting there. Why the Panzer Force not doing anything to support in the centre is beyond me. Come on, Potis, you got a Panzer. Use it. The Vaterland demands it. Popping over here to Gramont. Just gone Guards motor. Calling in a heavy mortar. And now calling in Guards Rifle Infantry. MD-40 holding up here. Bunker here collapsed. Not really much point in placing in there, since it could easily again be flanked around. And I mean, it just seemed like an awkward bunker position. Of course, I mean, overall, I'm not really feeling impressed by DrPain so far. Far from it. In fact, now he's building up a missile cast right there at the same spot. And again, this area is very easy. I mean, rather it would pay up much better for Gramont just to move in there and just ignore this, just run around here and, you know, let DrPain continue to sink resources into this, well, dead end. This tactical cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac or whatever. Because it really is a dead end in terms of tactics and strategy. It really doesn't do much. It can easily be, you know, avoided or just bombarded. KV-8 out here for Lacarus. Flamethrower tank. Let us burn the fascist comrades. All that. Panzer 4 running for DrPain. Maybe he could do something with a Panzer under his command, or maybe not. We'll see, of course. Fuel cache having dealt with. Incendiary barrels going in to force away the Grenadiers, though of course it might burn down the very fuel cache he was trying to protect. Quickly, go down incendiary artillery on our fuel cache. But comrade, will that not burn it up and set off the fuel? Stop applying fascist logic to everything. It is socialist fuel. It is not affected by fire. Isn't that rather against the composition? Shut up, Potis! KV-8 going to lead things up here. Nothing to stop it. No packs here. Panzer 4 rolling it. The other one down there in waiting for repairs, it would seem. Panzer 4 leading the way up here, but rather exposed. T-34 went down. Hoorah! Of sorts. T-34 needs to get out there quickly as well. Guards him to continue the advance, coming in a 5-man Panzer 4. Assault continues up here. KV-8 needs to pull back, not looking good. Lacarus. Looks like the fuel cache though survived. Lacarus' best attempts at defending it. And the Guards infantry is in the middle of the bloody road. Get them out of there, come on. And no. Looks like the other T-34 went kablamo as well. And now the Grenadiers with their Gewehr 43s and Jaeger training advance. Ooh, MG-40 flanked by the AA half track there. Lovely. T-34 veteran 2 getting repaired here. Lovely, Gramont, lovely. You actually got a veteran 2 T-34. Might want to get this Panzer repaired as soon as possible. Troops enforcing. Lots of nothing happening.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
And there we go, this half track is likely to go down to that Panzerkampfwagen 4. Nope. Apparently Hans just missed right there. Another veteran is UT-34, they're definitely doing alright in getting their tanks line. That's something I can't blame them for. Yet. I'm popping over back here to Potis, who's not really looking good infantry-wise. He's got some armor, but that's about it at the moment. Looks like he could be saving up for a Tiger tank that might turn things a bit around for them, although of course their opponent might get, you know, an IS-2 or a pair of T-3045s, in which case things of course are going to get a bit more unpleasant. Pack 40 is in need of some reinforcement. Roll out that half track and get it done, so they can be a bit more, less likely to get wiped out in one shot. At least that would be my suggestion.
Grenadiers reporting.
Another Panzerkampfwagen for DrPain. Interesting enough, Gramont is not really interested in cutting off things and again trying to get on away. He's just going for head-on assaults.
Grenadiers ready. Panzer Grenadiers standing by.
Rather all sides seem well passive at the moment. We're seeing a mechanized armor company out here for Lacarus. And we'll just briefly pause because there's something I want to check. He could right now get an IS-2, so why on earth he is investing resources into this is beyond me. I mean, an IS-2 would probably be rather devastating to the tanks, of course, but also to the infantry, so why go for an S-35? Panzer advancing here, getting flanked by the T-34. Veteran T2 with increased rate of fire, causing a bit of increased damage. Don't expose your rear to the T-34. DrPain, don't do it, and there we go. The result being a blown up Panzer IV. Do not underestimate the veterancy of a T-34. Do not. KV-8 advances, causing a few kills there. Flak Panzer for DrPain.
We are losing a sector.
And this bunker here has been absolutely done nothing with, no upgrades at all whatsoever. So why DrPain even built it is a complete mystery. And we're seeing here that Gramont is losing a full infantry assault here. And he's not being retreated, and these are why waste a satchel charge on that, Gramont? You're more likely to blow up yourself than the enemy there. But Flak Panzer rolling ahead. Panzer IV moving ahead, needs to be careful, careful, careful. Still no attempt at enforcing the pack though. Come on, Lacarus. Do your best. And a Flak Panzer running straight into all this Guards infantry. And we're seeing the penal troops dealing the pack. Nicely done there, Gramont. Nicely done. Pack finding way there at DrPain's Flak Panzer. Buttoning it up. Ooh, that's going to end up painfully there. And there we go. In fact, Flak Panzer is abandoned. A Flak Panzer for the Soviet army to utilize. Massive incendiary barrage down here. Bit of advance going up on the left flank. Bit of ground being taken, but overall not much. And overall not really much of a defense or cohesive defense. That Potis man is actually running back at the same time, you know. Lacarus is actually playing pretty passively. He's just thinking, well, I've got the center. I don't really need to do anything else. I just leave it to my teammate, despite, you know, the fact he's actually having severe trouble dealing with a man who's actually ignoring several vital strategic points. And now we're seeing a larger armoured / mechanized column moving towards the right hand side, going to flank though. Nicely done there. Though of course at the same time now he's leaving his own territory open for the fresh German assault. But there we go. The bunker went down. Knocked out the fuel cache there, going to cut off resources there. Lovely. Once more of this is cut off. Flamethrower KV-8 opening up, then the veteran 3 Panzers. They do not stand a chance. Why DrPain again insists on leaving his flanks exposed, and more importantly, his cut retreat path exposed is beyond me. We're likely going to see another Panzer IV go down. And there we go, a Tiger tank arrives. Potis man has called in a Tiger tank. Half track abandoned. Panzer IV abandoned. My god, that is 3 vehicles abandoned in short distance of each other. I mean, that could be a huge boost to the Russians if they actually capture the Panzer IV and the Flak Panzer IV. And of course a massive loss right there to DrPain, who just lost a Panzer IV and a flak panzer. In fact, he's down to 3 squads of grenadiers, one of them the F-43s. I mean, clearly, DrPain is lagging behind in many regards, which is rather making it easy for his opponent to get the drop on him and do a lot of damage. Need to retreat there, need to retreat. Oh, looks like the Tiger's acting up here to support. Wunderbar. Finally doing a bit to support his teammate. Getting off a night hits there on the rear of the KV-8 with his 88mm gun. Feuer frei, meine Herren.
Tiger tanks are now available to you, Commander.
And
use them well.
Time for the mid-game analysis. But right here, I'd just like to point out that for whatever bizarre reasons, Gramont chooses not to recruit the half-track, which would allow him to immediately reinforce his combat engineers. Now he chooses the Panzer IV. Exactly why? Again, it made no sense. Priorities matter in this case. You know, get the thing that can quickly get your troops reinforced, so you can quickly repair things, you know, and get them out of there. Never mind the Panzer IV. Otherwise, I mean, you know, otherwise, in fact, that doesn't even have engine damage. I mean, if he just was to do that, he could quickly pull everything away, but still keep things reinforced, quickly get things going at the front line, and quickly patch all of this together. In fact, he's got even 2 combat engineer squads at the front. So, I mean, a quick move here could actually do wonders, but again, there's a Tiger tank really nearby. So he might, you know, mess up. But again, you know, this is just a display of, you know, what I would describe, you know, as perhaps not optimal prioritizing from Gramont. But current situation is the Germans sort of making some progress, but again, it's rather comes down to the fact that just like Potis has to cover up for his teammate, Mr. DrPain, the same thing rather applies to a certain extent for Lacarus, although Lacarus himself is making some rather massive blunders. Again, he's just, you know, sitting about in the center, doing nothing, only, you know, coming to help his teammate when things are absolutely cocked up, because Gramont, for some reason, is having a bit of a hard time distinguishing the fact, again, that DrPain is absolutely very fond of leaving huge gaps in his defenses, leaving his entire west flank utterly exposed, rendering, in fact, all the resources he invests all of this useless, because he can just go in and take off the cutoff point. For some reason, Gramont never seems to sense that. He doesn't even do anything to mine it. So in that regard, you know, I mean, the Russians really need to get things together, in particular Gramont. He needs to get better at flanking, much better, and again, Lacarus needs to get a lot more active. Again, he can't just default to sit around here sitting around his thumbs doing nothing. At the same time, Potis man could do the same. I mean, in that sense, you know, the Germans and the Russians rather reflect a lot of the same flaws, but in different ways. You know, passiveness and some rather extreme tendency just to focus on one very specific lane on the map, either defensively or offensively. But now again, huge coup here for Gramont, lots of armor, and he's even got a pair of T-30-45s in here now, but can he actually utilize it? That, of course, is the question. For Mr. Potis, man, he needs to quickly sort the situation. Let's support his Tiger with a few Panzer IVs. He might be able to roll up this entire front line quickly again. That could actually overwhelm all of the Soviet armor plus the stuff they've captured. Other than this, of course, we managed to get that Pack 40 back into the fight. There might be a slight chance of turning things around for the Russians. For DrPain, you know, build up your force again and stop, for heaven's sake, on just focusing on this narrow strip of land. Remember to defend this as well. Set down some mines and set up a proper front line that can actually handle being flanked. Otherwise, just try to support Potis, man, at the very least, and try to keep his flank secure, because otherwise it would seem that DrPain really can't be allowed to operate on his own. Says right there for the Russians. Lacarus, get down there, 85, but really I think you should focus on getting an IS-2 out, get some heavy Soviet armor down, and try to blast through the lines, knock out some infantry, take on some tanks, get it some veterans, so it really becomes impressive and unpleasant for the Germans to fight. As for Gramont, get all of this, you know, back, pull back here, reinforce, repair, build up a front line, and then once it's all ready, I mean, take those 2 T-30-45s, that veteran 2 T-34, that Panzer on that flak Panzer, and then basically hammer into the German lines and destroy everything, because I think if they can get this all to work at one time, they could absolutely decimate the Germans. I mean, this plus this and this could represent an absolutely devastating force for the Germans, in particular combined with Mark Target. It could absolutely beat the stuffing out of the 11th Panzer Division. So that is in fact a very severe threat, in fact something that needs to be looked into by the Germans. But keeping up the T-30-45s would definitely not be a bad idea. So, Over to DrPain and back to the fight. Let us see what happens next. Tiger's moving in here, ignoring what is going on there. Then it is advancing. Panzer 4 needs to pull away. No, they're going to get off a Panzerfaust. Oh, too late there, Gramont. Come on. No, looks like he might escape. No, Panzerfaust destroyed the engine. Tiger tank moving in here. Safe. No. Fragmentation bombing and getting. No, not quite the pack actually. Surprisingly enough. Didn't quite do it. And the 4 joins in and clears out the pack. And looks like the Panzer 4 in the end did go down. Probably to a Panzerfaust. The Soviet armor did not intervene to clear out the infantry. Come on, come on. On the other hand, he didn't manage to grab his Panzer, or flak Panzer 4 here, so that's some comfort. But he also lost the half tracks right there. I mean, 2 vehicles that could easily have added to his force is gone. But at least now we do see the T-34s on the move, catching the Gunners out in the open and absolutely beginning to wreak havoc and murder them. Tiger rolling back here, doubling back, while the T-34s continues their relentless assault. Hoorah, comrades! But a nice Panzerfaust there on the veteran T2 T-34. Panzer 4 moving up, then the Gunners got wiped out, though he should have retreated right there. This DrPain getting a Stug up now. Tiger here being engaged by the veteran, the T-3045, trying to flank. Nicely done there. Not sure why he took a longer route with this one. And of course the T-34 veteran is too, which could otherwise have been a nice help, simply can't do anything because of the damaged engine. I mean, be careful about driving too close to infantry. There we go. T-3045 went down. The Tiger scored a kill. Deutschland prevails. And there we go. Veterans won for the Tiger tank. Other T-3045 getting hunted down pretty quickly. Oh dear. That's likely going to be the end of that T-3045. And there we go, another kill. Also, fun fact about the T-3045, the Germans had a slight knack for misidentifying it as a T-43. But that actually I don't even think existed. That was just more how the service occasionally ran things. Panzer is leading an assault across open ground, rarely a good idea. Tiger tank here pulling back, heavily damaged. S-35 up for Lacarus. And the Sturmgeschütz moving up here. No pencil mount machine gun, lots of infantry following up. Going to do a head-on assault here. Guards infantry going to caught, and there we go, buttoning up the Stug. Nice done. Grenadiers coming in the fire from the T-34. Getting very close, eventually free there. Flamethrowers. And there we go, nice hit on the veteran 3 T-34. Trying to repair it, but the engine is damaged severely. The Stug might even get it. There we go. But the Stug is like to go down there to the S-35. Oh, main gun destroyed. Pull it out, but no. We're seeing the Tiger flanking in here. Blitzkrieg, Potis. And strafing run, stopping up all the Soviet infantry. Why he's pulling back when he was that close, could easily blitz behind it, is beyond me. Second S-35 though, and the flak Panzer holding back the fascist infantry. Tiger heavily damaged, and we're seeing a blitz retreat, the Blitzkrieg. And S-35 just barging into everything. Depleted infantry forces following up in the wake of it, and Panzer first in the rear. Nicely done, and for some reason there's a Panzer 4 doing nothing all up the way in the left corner. Victory points are safely in the hands of the German army, it would seem.
Grenadiers ready.
And we're seeing here that Gramont is moving ahead his force rather severely. And what is this? A fragmentation bombing run. Doing a bit of damage, but mostly stunning the vehicle crews. Don't leave me here. Too bad, comrade. This is the Soviet army, where the motto is every man left behind.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Advance here under the aegis of the flak Panzer. We could see some Stuka close air support. That could potentially work. It has been buffed, but I've yet to see anyone use it. Then he's advancing up, but with no armoured support. Right against the Flak Panzer, that is hardly the grandest of ideas. Come on, DrPain, do try to display some kind of unit preservation and tactical sense, but popping over here to Lacarus. Still not very keen on even attempting an IS-2 heavy tank. I really do feel that's a shame. The large advantage, Grenadiers suffering viciously here to the Flak Panzer, taking an absolutely vicious toll on the Grenadiers as they try to push ahead. The end assault being some retreats, obviously. Looks like Malak to see it, yes indeed. Actually takes it down to about half health and they barely received any damage, so I mean, it has actually been improved somewhat, which is nice. Though it might get shot down. That Stuka, that Kanonenvogel, as it was known. And there we go. Didn't really do much, I'm afraid. Stuk, though, finally fit for fight again, moving ahead. Tiger being repaired far, far away from the front line. I think that might be overdoing it, though I'd still recommend, you know, pulling away from the front line, but even that is, you know, a bit much. Another pair of T-3045s rolling ahead.
Awaiting orders.
Conscripts on the run.
We have found the enemy.
Panzer Grenadiers moving ahead there, getting a bit blasted. Again, standing them out in the open, DrPain doesn't seem overly concerned with the unit preservation. Again, I can't help but feel that was one of his major mistakes. Well, not the biggest one. And they're shooting fire moving ahead in the blind. In the blind, good lord. Or blind lane, I'm more supposed to be more fitting, by the way, though. He just got outmaneuvered by Panzer IV very, very easily. That's hardly how you're supposed to do it, mate. So that's going to be a very easy kill for that Panzerkampfwagen 4. Further fighting over here. Grenadiers once more making an assault across the open. A medic bank for some reason placed right there. And Grenadiers coming under bombardment here from the 2 T-3045s and the Flak Panzer as well. Come on, DrPain, you don't seem to be learning from previous events. Very well. Hard track up here, mowing down Panzers out in the open, or at least attempting to, though it might get wiped out by a single punch strike rocket. And there we go, half track is down, kaputt, nicht mehr.
They've opened up on us!
And an SU-76M, providing a bit of light artillery support. Incendiary being run into the flank of the SU-5, impressive. It does a bit of damage there.
Contact with enemy infantry!
And I'll ask that mention before it's just killing as many Russians as he can, and there go T-3045s are advancing, going to flank that MG-42. And then apparently stop up. Well, that wasn't much of a heroic advance at all. But barely any units left for Lacarus. Gramont though is looking better considerably. For how long that lasts. And we're seeing a heavy Panzer co-op. Also the Tiger's repair, but it's not moving to the front line. What are you thinking? Potis, it's not going to do any good down back there. MG-42 continues, and the Panzer IV once more on a rampage here, this time catching some shock troops in negative cover. Terrible right there for Lacarus, who needs to get them the hell out of there. MG-42 providing coverage of this victory point. None of these here getting blasted by the Flak Panzer, 14 kills. More light artillery this time trying to get that MG-42 veteran to flee out of the way. Punch rate could have been picked up but isn't. And finally the Tiger is on the move and
Enemy troops!
could easily get that H-35 there. One more hit or two more. Vorwärts, Männer! Achtung, Tiger! All that. One more hit, come on. Push ahead, vorwärts. Angreif. Veteran 2 Stug moving up in support. Lovely, the Sturmgeschütz. And then we've got Veteran 2 Tiger increasing accuracy and the range, actually. On the other hand, the Stug needs to pull back. And the Tiger needs to move up to support. Don't pull it back. Why are you moving it back that far? And leaving your teammate Stug behind. Which, by the way, needs to pull back here. Come on, DrPain. Come on, DrPain. And right there, lost a slugging match with two T-3045s. Fragmentation bombing on knock. Stunning a bit here. Tiger moving in again using its increased range, although currently can't really see that much. And a T-70 all of a sudden out here for Lacarus. Out of the blue. And over to Gramont. Who looks like he's getting ready for another pair of T-3045s. Lots of those it would seem in store. There we go. T-70 is scrap. And apparently pulling back his Tiger once more. I rather feel like Potis here could have been doing a lot more with this Tiger tank overall. In particular now it's Veteran 2 and again it gains a range bonus and accuracy overall, making it more lethal, not just to infantry but of course to tanks and whatnot. Since it pretty much ends up having the same range as the Panther and the Stug, but considerably better anti-infantry capabilities than either. Plus, of course, much better armor and health. So that is something to keep in mind.
You need something built?
Just going to speed this up. DrPain continues to look not awfully strong. Another across the open ground assault. Another pair of T-3045s can be called in. Fragmentation bombing on by the looks of it. Yes, indeed. Oh no, incendiary artillery, I mean. Full-on assault here. Why isn't he calling in the T-3045s? Come on, call in some more tanks. Looks like the Tiger might be moving ahead. Veteran 2 Flak Panzer getting blasted there severely by all of the Panzerschrecks being arrayed against it, and the Tiger still playing extremely defensively with it for some bizarre reason.
Another vehicle has been lost in the
Not sure why he is not calling in that other pair of T-35s, and again it looks like he's waiting for those in the first place, all the resource guy. And a Panther of all things for Potis, man. Why couldn't he just call in another Tiger? It's beyond me as well.
You need motor support?
I mean, he wasn't even using this one very well. Again, calling in a Panther now just seems a bit odd. Just going to speed this up a bit.
They've opened up on target.
enemy forces capturing supplies at gas. We have only 50 points remaining.
And there we go, a novice as they come Monday novice fight. We get lots of fun mistake right here to look at. Again, one of the primary ones basically also part being, you know, from both sides there was rather poor teamwork. I mean, some of both German players would build up medic bunkers despite, you know, they could easily just place one between them. And they rarely seem to actually come and support each other. Same with the Russian players, they seem to be operating very severely in other things. I mean, either, for example, there'd be no real serious flanking, and only rarely again would there be any sort of help or any sort of, you know, taking advantage of, you know, the other teammates' opponents' mistakes. So in that regard, you know, some rather serious flaws there, something that could easily be worked on. But that was one of the major issues here, was rather, you know, how DrPain would constantly utterly focus on this little strip of land and then forget about the rest of the bloody map, easily setting up for tons of flanks, and then of course Gramont failing to flank him, but just, you know, actually obliging him and running straight into his defences. That made very, very little sense. That was absolutely a poor tactical and strategic display by both players right there. I mean, he could easily have wiped out DrPain. He just bothered to flank and mine just partly. But that never really seriously happened. He actually had to wait for his teammate to do it several times. That's not good at all. That is not good at all. In fact, that is downright terrible. Also, I mean, DrPain displayed, you know, not very good during the preservation. He constantly attacked with infantry across ground against tanks, and tanks specifically meant for mincing up infantry. I mean, that is really, again, another grievous tactical display right there from DrPain, something he seriously needs to work on. Infantry works with cover. You don't attack a tank head-on, in particular not one meant for killing infantry. So that was really some bad ideas there. Potis, you know, also much too passive. The same thing with his counterpart, Lacarus. Both players had a tendency of being rather passive. One would park in the flank of the map, the other one would park in the center of the map. No real pressure, no real aggression. I also feel Lacarus really, you know, should have not bothered with mechanized and mechanistic, go for some IS-2s, and that way provide some heavy armor pressure to apply. Barely any mines either. Also not good at all. And I really don't know why Potis held back so much with his Tiger tank when he could have done a lot more damage with it. Also, you know, the way the Russian players, you know, had barely any units in the start and then just began building so many fuel caches, not good at all. Not good at all. You should not focus that heavily on fuel caches when it's clear you're lacking in infantry. That rather allowed the German players again to have some advantage. And again, had Gramont actually got a serious force for that matter, had, you know, Mr. DrPain and all not focused that heavily on bunks, either way could easily probably knock the other wall off the map. But again, because they were so focused on all other sorts of weird ideas, that never really came about. So many missed opportunities right here, so many bad ideas flourishing. In the end, though, the Germans probably won because they made the less mistakes. And because they were just that a bit more active. So, hope you learned a lot from this match. I hope you got some ideas of what not to do. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends. If you didn't, why not simply provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.